Why, Nima, did football go mad for the Ukraine? Even corner flags were turned into blue and yellow. But the Arsenal kit man can't put a sympathetic post on his own personal Facebook in support of the Palestinians. How widespread is all this?
Good evening, George. It's good to be with you again, even though it's again under rather difficult and sad circumstances. This has been widespread for quite some time. We've seen people be cancelled and sacked, with Mark Bonnick, the Arsenal kit man, who's now filing who's filed, I should say rather, a legal complaint against Arsenal. And I urge everyone to go on social media and try to donate to his campaign, to his legal fund, and to show support to him, because he has done absolutely nothing wrong. But this was very widespread. I mean, if we go back to the weeks after October 7th, what we do remember is, of course, several journalists with the British mainstream media in particular, The Guardian and so on, many of whom have actually active family members who are actively serving in the IDF, something they fail to disclose to their readers. But regardless, if we go back to then, they were talking about how Jews don't matter, and that the world of football needs to, equating once more Israel and Zionism with Judaism. But a lot has happened since then, because nobody bought it, and the overwhelming majority of people didn't buy it. Now we're in a situation where, after almost 2 years of trying to get the International Olympic Committee, FIFA, to ban Israel and suspend them, we're now in a position, due to the ramped up genocide, or as Professor Norman Finkelstein called it, the final solution to the Gaza question that Israel is pushing. Now it's gotten so bad that we have the EU Sports Commissioner, Glenn Mikalev, saying things like there should be no space in sporting events to those who do not share our values, adding that I no longer understand, adding that he thinks that maybe Israel should be banned from sports, obviously just floating the idea, not doing anything about it. And this kind of echoes what we've seen from Friedrich Merz, the German chancellor, who's saying things like, I no longer understand what the Israeli army is doing in the Gaza Strip, with the goal that the civilian population is being impacted to such an extent, which again echoes what liberal Zionists have been doing and saying in the liberal Western democracies for quite some time now. And that is that it's, they're trying to rehabilitate, they're changing their tune slightly for two reasons. One is they want to save their own skin. The entire world has seen a live-streamed Holocaust and genocide, and now that's being ramped up. We've all seen the horrific images of the last 48 hours of pretty much the entire population of Gaza, all 2 million, or whatever's left of them after Israel has been murdering them indiscriminately for 2 years, almost 2 years, having been pushed to the south, banging for food, and then, as Professor Norman Finkelstein said, we know what they're going to do. They're going to do what they've always done when they mow the lawn. And these Western leaders and these Western journalists have seen that, and they no longer can pretend. I mean, the perfect example of that is Piers Morgan, who is the greatest example, I'd say, of the rat abandoning the ship. And as I said, they're doing this for two reasons. They want to save their own skin, but also because they know what's coming next. And that is the legal ramifications of this. And that is, all of them, politicians to these so-called journalists, like the gentleman whose name I alluded to earlier, and which you brilliantly have repeatedly destroyed so many times on his own show. I actually am starting to think that he's some sort of a masochist, and that's why he keeps bringing you on. He gets off on you humiliating him publicly.